Hi everyone, this is a giant shout out to Denise Jordan. This and That with Denise Jordan. She has an awesome channel. If you've never been over to check her channel out, please do so. She does a lot of cooking, cleaning, and gardening and fairy gardens. That's why I started watching her channel, was for the gardening and the fairy gardens, because that's what I was interested in the beginning of my YouTube channel. And I also go and check other channels out that have nothing to do with things that my channel has to do with, just because I like to see different things. I don't like getting bored. So I discovered Denise Jordan a couple of years ago, and I found her from another channel that watched her. And I watched the other channel because she did gardening. So that's how we got into one channel to the next channel. And on my video that I'm putting up at the end of this shout out, you will hear how this all started. But anyway, I knew about her. She did a tag a couple of years ago with me, and she invited me to do the tag, and I did it, and I put it up. And that's what I'm going to show at the end, so make sure you go check it out. Well, stay tuned. It's all in the same video. Just don't click off too early. So anyway, I did that. And then I let it go until last summer, because I would occasionally go over and check out her channel for fairy gardens, gardening channels. And last summer, she's doing her gardening, so that's why I was over there. And of course, I have to see her fairy gardens because I'm into fairy gardens. Well, I noticed that they had challenges, and I clicked on and I said, let me try one of these challenges. I'd never done a challenge like that. It was on a tablescape. Was nothing all that great, but for some reason, everyone acted like, oh, that's really nice. You did a great job. I didn't have all that much. Most of the stuff I had was very inexpensive. So I saw that I was doing so much better with that than I did with all my gardening and fairy gardens and all that. So I said, well, let me do a few of these. And every time I would do a challenge, I would get a big response. And I noticed I was starting to pick up followers along with it. So I have kept with it. And that's how I got involved with Denise Jordan. And what really got me going with Denise Jordan, I couldn't believe how much better my channel started doing, because I was joining a group. I think you need to make friends on YouTube. You need to get with each other and work out things to do. That's my plan, to do more interaction with YouTubers. I have never really done that until last summer. I find that it really helped my channel a lot. And then I also started meeting a lot more YouTubers and interacting with them. That was so helpful on my channel. Denise has a thing every Sunday, usually, to tell you what challenges are coming up, what things are new on YouTube. I don't always get to watch the live because, I'm a busy person. Usually I end up watching most of hers on replay. And that's fine too, because I'm still getting all the same information on replay. So, let's go see what else Denise does. Now, I already told you she does tons and tons of cooking videos, and that's what you're seeing here. But that's not the only thing she does.
We were tagged in a YouTube video by This and That with Denise Jordan to answer 5 questions about gardening. So the first question is, why do you garden?
I just love gardening. It relaxes me, and it gives me so much joy to see my yard looking nice. It's just something I've enjoyed doing for the last 30 years.
And the next question is, why do you YouTube?
Well, the why I started, this is going to sound very strange to all of you. Me and my granddaughter have been working on a blog for several years. I think we're starting the 4th year, right, Nicole? And she only allowed me 6 pictures per post. And I wanted to show more. So I mentioned to her, why? Because I look at YouTube all the time getting ideas for my fairy garden. And I mentioned to her about it, and she says, Grandma, I do enough for you. If you want to do YouTube, you need to find some other grandchild. So I took her seriously, and I went to my grandson and said, Brandon, can you do YouTube for me? Nicole won't do it. So he doesn't care what I put up. He doesn't care how long, how short, what we're talking about, like Nicole does. So that's who does my YouTube is Brandon, and that's why you don't always see a lot of YouTubes maybe for like consistently, because he works a full-time job, and I go ahead and film everything, and when he's not working or has a chance, he puts them up. So that's why it takes a while sometimes, and you'll see maybe 5-6 videos up at one time. But I am filming all the time for YouTube. But that's why I started, because my granddaughter Nicole just wouldn't let me put enough pictures up. So that's why I do that.
Okay, Grandma, how long have you been gardening?
Well, I've been gardening probably about 30 years. I started out doing flower gardens, and I always enjoyed doing that. And occasionally maybe I would take a photo or something, but really I've only been taking photos of my garden probably about the last 7 years. And I thoroughly enjoy it. It relaxes me. It makes me happy. And that's what I've been doing.
Okay, the fourth question is, what do you grow?
Well, I grow quite a few different things. I started out growing flowers that I thoroughly enjoy. And then I started growing flowers and plants to go in my fairy gardens about 7 years ago. And now I'm growing a food garden to incorporate into my fairy garden, if you can believe that. And that's what I do. And I also like to grow things that encourage butterflies and bees to come to my yard too. I really enjoy that. And I love watching the birds fly around my sunflowers and picking the seeds out. And I love seeing nature at work.
Okay, the final question is, what is your favorite thing to grow?
That is going to be a very hard question to ask, because I love so many different things. I am so happy about looking at everything. Even my food garden now is coming along fine. And it's fun watching the little watermelon babies come up. And I love growing all kinds of different things. I can't wait to take some pictures of my baby watermelons with my fairies now. So I don't really have any one particular plant that I love more than another as a rule, because I love my sunflower seeds. I plant them every year. My pigweed, now that I have it going, I plant it every year. And I'm growing both of those from seeds. I think I enjoy growing things from seeds. That is something that I'm really getting into. It's hard to really say what's my favorite, because I love so many different things. So I guess I just love gardening. Does that sound terrible? I'm whipping out. Isn't a question, I'm just bringing this up. My main focus is my fairy gardens. About 8 years ago, I saw a garden magazine, and it had fairy gardens in it. It inspired me to start doing miniature gardening, and that's where it started at. I love it. I incorporate it into my flower gardens. I'm incorporating it into my food garden. So my main focus in my garden really is my fairies, even though I am growing lots of flowers and lots of vegetables and fruits. And in the future, there's even going to be a lot more and a lot more progress. I have baby watermelons coming now. I cannot wait to take pictures with my fairies next to these little tiny baby watermelons. So I'm just letting you know that my main focus is really, it isn't any of these questions, is my fairies. Bye for now, my fairy followers. I hope you guys let me know how you feel about these questions, and maybe you can answer the same ones and let us know how you feel about your garden. Bye for now. Oh, wait a minute. We have shout outs, and people that we like to watch on YouTube. That's our next bunch of things we're going to do. So don't hang up yet. Come back.
Okay, so as I said at the beginning, this is a tag, and we were tagged by This and That with Denise Jordan. So now we're going to go ahead and do some shout out and tags. So our first shout out is going to be for Janita Loving It.
She's been doing gardening for a while, and she's only gardening on her patio or her terrace. So she doesn't have a lot of space, but she's so fun to listen to, so enthusiastic about her little terrace and her plants. And that is how I found
This and That with Denise Jordan.
And that's how I found out about her. She's got some great followers, so if you guys want to go over there, you can find a lot of good people that do fairy gardens and flower gardens and other things. She's interested in a lot of things, and I really like following her, and she's super, super sweet to all of her followers and always very supportive.
Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and tag some YouTubers. Our first tag is gonna be to Roots and Refuge Farm.
She has a small farm and a great garden, and she's full of garden tips. I just love watching her, and she just has, it's just wonderful, and she's got such a great outlook on life. I think it's a good place to go and check out hers too.
Okay, and for the second one, we're gonna go ahead and tag, let's see. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Hold on. Whippoorwill Holler?
Hollow, I think, or Hollow.
Oh, okay. Whippoorwill Hollow.
Well, anyway, we're going to put these spellings up for you guys and go check them out too. I love her garden channel. She's just great about everything, great ideas. And what I really, really like best of all, the things that she grows in her garden, she brings them in her kitchen, she cooks recipes, and she gives you the full recipe. So you can make whatever she's making. I just love her. She's just a great, great channel to watch. So you guys go over there and check her out too.
Okay, and then third tag is going to be on YouTube, live.love.life.
And this one here, it's gonna, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this or not. She's starting a food forest. I enjoy watching her channel too. And she does it all on a very small budget. And so that's great for Grandma because she's living on Social Security. So I need all the small budget ideas I can get. Great one to work with.
Okay, and our next shout out, or I'm sorry, our next tag for YouTuber is going to be Life on Lemon Lane.
She has a great garden also, and I love watching her. And just great ways to decorate and do everything on a budget also. You know, Grandma, budget's very important.
Okay, and then now we're going to do a few more shout outs. The first shout out is going to be for YouTube channel Crafty Share Cupcakes.
And her shout out really doesn't have a lot of gardening that she shows, to the sense that she has a garden in the garden, but she has great fairy gardens, and she does have some of them in her yard like I do, and she changes them all the time, and she also changes them to go with the season. So you go over there and check hers out also.
Okay, and then we also have a shout out to the YouTube channel Lark's Garden.
She has a great YouTube channel too, and she does cottage gardening, vegetables, and flowers, and everything's just beautiful. And she does a thing, Tea Time Tuesday tour, and I enjoy watching that too. So go over there and check her channel out too.
All right, and finally we have a shout out that we actually are hoping to turn into a tag, but we understand how busy she is, so it's a shout out and a tag at the same time. And this is for the YouTube channel Garden Answers.
Now, Garden Answers is one of my most favorite channels of all time. I watch her every single time she posts something, and she has great garden ideas. She has great fairy gardens. She has great flower beds. She has great food gardens. There isn't anything she doesn't have that I'm not into. So every single thing, she hits every box, and I just love her channel, and she's the sweetest thing. And she just had a baby, and she's sharing the baby with us too. So there's nothing about that channel I don't love. So if you get a chance, go check it out if you're not already following her, because she has a huge following. So you may already all know about her. But that is my most favorite one of all of them, is Garden Answers.
Okay, and we'll go ahead and list the questions and link to all of the YouTube channels that were mentioned. And hopefully, Grandma, anything else?
Nope, I had a really good time answering these questions. And thank you, Denise. I really enjoyed doing this challenge.